Welcome back to Story After Midnight, where the darkness never sleeps. I'm your storyteller, guiding you through the world's most terrifying and mysterious true encounters. From haunted homes to ghostly sightings to strange and unexplained phenomena, I bring you the spine-chilling stories that will make you question what you thought you knew. In tonight's episode, we dive deep into the eerie and unsettling world of real-life ghost encounters. These are stories from those who have unknowingly brushed up against the supernatural and lived to tell the tale. So, find a quiet spot, dim the lights, and make sure you're alone, because the shadows might be closer than you think. Who knows what's lurking, watching, and waiting to make its presence known. Now, let's step into the unknown. The darkness awaits.
The aging Regal Theater loomed ominously over Jackson Street, its decaying facade a silent guardian of countless forgotten performances. Once the gem of vaudeville, now it stood neglected, yet its faded grandeur still whispered of past glory. But to young Alex Hartley, a hopeful actor chasing dreams bigger than his small-town life, the Regal was the only stage he could afford. Alex had talent, charisma, and an insatiable hunger to perform. But above all, he was desperate. Late one autumn evening, after another grueling rehearsal, Alex stayed behind to perfect his monologue. The old floorboards creaked beneath his feet, the walls groaning in rhythm with the cold drafts sneaking through cracked doors. A single spotlight cut through the darkness, bathing him in ghostly white, his shadow stretching long and distorted across the stage. To be or not to be, he began, voice trembling slightly with exhaustion. He paused, noticing something peculiar at the far corner of the stage lights. His eyes narrowed, breath hitching in his chest. There, at the very edge of the illumination, stood a figure, motionless, silent, perfectly silhouetted against the void. "Hello," Alex's voice echoed back faintly. The figure remained still, its contours blurring eerily into shadow, the edges shifting subtly, unnaturally. Feeling a chill down his spine, Alex waved his hand slowly. To his horror, the shadow waved back in perfect, disturbing unison. Alex froze. His breath quickened, misting the cold air. Experimentally, he lifted one foot, and the shadow mirrored him exactly. "Very funny," he said nervously, convinced it was some cruel prank by one of the theater crew. But as he stepped forward, the shadow matched his stride precisely. There was no delay, no flaw, only terrifying, perfect mimicry. Fear began to gnaw at his chest, but Alex fought it back. He forced himself to laugh. "Nice trick, whoever you are." But even as he said this, he noticed the shadowy figure's limbs elongating slightly, subtly, grotesquely, stretching beyond human proportions. His stomach twisted. "Ooh, who are you?" he stammered. The shadow didn't respond, didn't move independently. It just waited for Alex to act. He hesitated, then cautiously raised an arm. The shadow matched him, heart pounding. Alex quickly dropped his arm. The shadow instantly mimicked him, but now its limbs were visibly longer, fingers claw-like, edges trembling with anticipation. A sickening feeling of dread settled over him. Slowly, desperately, Alex turned away. The shadow mimicked him. He began walking, eyes fixed on his distorted double. Each step was synchronized, each breath identical. He broke into a run, desperately clawing at his chest, but the shadow effortlessly matched his movements. Finally, Alex stumbled, missing a step, his body crashing onto the stage. The shadow didn't fall. Instead, it stepped abruptly, head tilting curiously. Alex watched helplessly, frozen in fear. As the shadow stepped forward independently, his heart jolted, realization hitting him like a physical blow. He'd broken the rules. The shadow stretched grotesquely, darkness peeling away from the walls, from corners oozing toward Alex, pooling at its feet like tar. The room grew colder, the spotlight flickering violently, casting monstrous shapes on the theater walls. "No, please wait!" Alex screamed, scrambling backwards. His limbs felt heavy, movement sluggish. Out of darkness, impossibly thin and gnarled fingers stretched toward, gripping Alex's ankle with vice-like strength. He shrieked, clawing at the floor, splinters embedding into his fingertips as he fought the inexorable pull. The shadow watched silently, its featureless face turned toward Alex, motionless yet terrifyingly alive. With one final desperate scream, Alex was dragged violently into the darkness. His voice swallowed instantly, silence reclaimed the theater, leaving only the faint buzzing of the damaged spotlight. The following night, stage manager Hannah Ellis arrived early. Something felt off. An unnatural silence permeated the theater, the air thick with tension. She found Alex's discarded script, pages scattered across the floor. Unease crept up her spine. "Alex?" she called softly, eyes scanning the shadows nervously. Then she saw it. In the spotlight, at the very edge of the illumination, stood a shadowy figure. It waved gently. Hannah paused, confused but oddly entranced. Unaware of the stakes, she raised her hand and waved back. The shadow matched her, perfectly synchronized, its form trembling with anticipation. And deep in the darkness, where reality bent cruelly, Alex's hearty screams echoed eternally, trapped forever by the stalker in the spotlight.
Thank you for joining me tonight on this eerie journey into the unknown. If these stories have left you with a chill down your spine, don't forget to like and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. And remember, there's always more lurking just around a corner. If you've ever experienced something strange, something unexplainable, feel free to share your own story in the comments below. You never know who else might be listening or watching. Until next time, keep your lights low, your doors locked, and your curiosity never at ease. Because at Story After Midnight, the darkness never rests, and neither do we.